U.S. President Donald Trump has issued a stern warning to Iran. Trump says American forces will carry out further strikes on Iran tonight. This comes after a second day of sustained U.S. attacks on Iran. In a sharp escalation, Iran has responded with force, launching strikes on U.S. bases across the Gulf region. At the same time, Russia and China have called for an immediate de-escalation. But on the ground, both sides appear locked in confrontation with little indication of a breakthrough. In Trump's latest Truth Social post, he said that the United States will be hitting Iran very hard tonight. Trump said, quote, "At some point in not too distant future, we will be taking Kharg Island and other oil infrastructure points and assume total control of their oil and gas markets." These are the latest images released by the IRGC, showing attacks targeting U.S. bases in West Asia after the second wave of American strikes on Iran. Air defense systems were activated across Kuwait, Bahrain, and Jordan in response to incoming strikes. Iran's Revolutionary Guard has described the strikes as a punitive operation. Jordan says it intercepted around 20 Iranian missiles, while Kuwait's military says its air defense engaged what it called hostile aerial targets. The retaliatory strikes followed a second round of U.S. airstrikes on Iran. CENTCOM said that it had completed its strikes on Iranian military surveillance capabilities, communication systems, and air defense sites as well. The attack came after Trump warned that Tehran would pay the price for stalled negotiations. In response to the attack, Iran says it has closed the Strait of Hormuz until further notice. That's something that CENTCOM is denying. Iranian media reports a strike across southern areas near the Strait of Hormuz. They said that explosions were heard in Bandar Abbas, Qeshm, and Minab, with additional reported impacts in Khargan and Sirik. Trump has urged Iran to reach a deal to end the war, suggesting earlier this week that an agreement would come within days. But Iran appears defiant despite the heavy bombardment. It is signaling that control over the Strait of Hormuz remains a key strategic leverage point. Iran's foreign ministry has strongly condemned the latest attacks. Tehran says the fragile ceasefire is now practically meaningless. Even as the situation escalates, diplomatic channels have not completely shut down. A delegation of Qatari mediators had reportedly left Tehran after holding talks that continued into the early hours of the morning. China, which remains the largest buyer of Iranian oil, has also called for restraint. Beijing has urged all parties to immediately halt military operations and return to the negotiating table under international mediation efforts. Russia has likewise joined in pressing for de-escalation, warning that continued confrontation risks pushing the region into a broader and more dangerous conflict.